I can't even start this video. I can't even do it. I can't. Hi guys. So, today's video is the most exciting video that I have ever filmed in my whole life. I'm actually shaking. Like, I'm actually shaking. So as you can tell from the title, and as you can probably guess, well, a lot of you on Twitter and Snapchat have guessed from my sneak peeks, this, I can't even speak because I am so excited. This video is something that I never thought I would be filming in my whole life, and oh my god, I'm actually shaking. So, oh my god, I can't even say it. I literally can't even say it. I am coming out with palettes. So a lot of you guys actually guessed this already. I have collaborated with one of my favourite brands, Makeup Revolution, and together we have created a SOPH eyeshadow palette and a SOPH highlighter palette. Like, what the hell? I cannot even explain to you guys how excited and like overwhelmed and like I am just for this opportunity. Like, this has been an absolute dream. Like, literally since I got into makeup, I dreamed about the day that I would maybe release like my own makeup or whatever, and this is gonna be a long video. So yeah, I'm releasing my own makeup, which is gonna be in Superdrug, and it's in collaboration with Makeup Revolution, and it's drugstore, and it's an eyeshadow palette, and it's a highlighter palette, and oh my god, I'm so excited. So as you can tell, I'm a little bit like hyped up in this video and a little bit like excited and nervous, but I'm gonna try and explain things and hopefully I'll be able to get all my words out. First off, I just have to say the literal like biggest thank you in the whole entire world to you guys, because without you guys subscribing to me, I would never have an opportunity like this, and I literally, like, I would be nothing without you guys, and I say that so many times, but it's true. Like, if you guys didn't subscribe to me, I would not be able to release my own makeup palettes, which I actually cannot believe that is actually a thing. Like, is this actually real life? And if you're wondering, yes, that is what I've got on right now. I've got my own highlighter palette on my face, and I have my own eyeshadow palette on my face, and there's going to be a tutorial for this as well, and I don't even know where to start. Like, I don't really know where to start. I guess I'm gonna start with like the actual stuff that you guys I'm sure will want to know. The eyeshadow palette comes with 24 different shades. It is going to be £10, which obviously I'm so excited that it's affordable, just because I am such a drugstore girl. That's where I started, and that's what I continue to like focus my channel on. I know that I still do some high-end stuff, you know, here and there, but I still love drugstore makeup. I love affordable makeup, and yeah, I really wanted to make these affordable for you guys. So the eyeshadow palette is £10. And the highlighter palette comes with 8 different shades, and this is going to be £8, which I'm so, like, I'm ecstatic about that, just because I really hope that you guys will be able to, you know, like save up your pocket money, or you know, hopefully you don't have to break the bank to afford to buy these palettes, which I am absolutely over the moon about. So many months ago, like, oh my gosh, you guys don't even understand how long I've been keeping this secret, I posted some cryptic tweets like here and there, like, oh, this year's gonna be a good year and stuff like that, and that was when I kind of like found out about this. Basically, Adam, who is the owner of Makeup Revolution, he got in touch with me and said that he'd be interested in doing some palettes with me, and this was like around the time that he also like offered me the job to work on the Makeup Revolution social team, which has been absolutely amazing. And yeah, he said also another thing that he'd be interested in is doing some palettes, and of course I was like, oh my god, yes. So that's absolutely incredible, and I just want to thank him. Like, Adam, I know you're going to be watching this video, and I just want to say thank you so much for this opportunity. You don't even understand. Like, it's a literal dream come true. Can't even speak properly. I remember one afternoon I sat down on my floor and I had all of my palettes out. I think I actually might have Snapchatted a picture of it, just like all my palettes all over the floor. Yeah, I had all my palettes all over the floor and I was just like swatching everything, trying to decide what sort of colours I wanted to go into this, what my favourite colours were, you know, how many mattes, how many shimmers, what sort of tones, and that kind of thing that I wanted to actually go into this palette. And it took me hours. I was literally sitting there, I like was covered like on my arms and my legs and everything. I was just covered in swatches, and after many hours of deciding, I managed to kind of whittle down to the sort of shades, like similar-ish shades that I wanted to be in my palette. And so I then had to like feed all of this back to the team, and they said, okay, like we'll send it off to the factory and we'll start getting some samples created, and which was like insane. And I got the sample back, made a couple of changes, and then I worked on doing the design of the actual palettes. So for the outer box of the eyeshadow palette, because I was told that it was going to be in a box that I could design, I wanted it to be a sort of like peachy nude sort of themed watercolour. So I literally got out my paper and my paints and I painted a bunch of different watercolour designs. I do have the original watercolours, but I don't actually know where I've put them. I think they are somewhere buried in a box, but I will find them and I will take pictures and I will insert the pictures right here of the original watercolours, and then I put them together in Photoshop and layered them and stuff, and came up with this idea that I wanted to have the watercolour in the background, and then I wanted to have these like metallic kind of, well, they were supposed to be sort of like paint splatters or like gold flake kind of thing, just because I thought that this looked really cool, having like the base colour being like matte, and kind of like a variety of different shades, and then I wanted to have like the metallic shiny bits on top, which is what we ended up doing. So that was the design for the box, and then obviously it's got my name on it and it's got SOPH Revolution, because it's collaboration with Revolution, and it says it on the side as well. It's still got like the metallic writing. So I went for a kind of nude shade. Originally I wanted it to be like a slightly darker, like browny nude, but we got a couple of samples back from the factory and it just looked a bit like dull. Like the colour, I don't know, it just didn't look as nice as this colour, which is obviously one of the colours that Makeup Revolution have for their concealer palette, because I originally said to them, like, I love that. I love the matte kind of like, I don't know, sort of beige colour. So, I don't know, like cream colour, I guess. I know that a lot of people are going to think that this is going to get dirty really quickly, and you can probably see I've already got like some of my dirt on it. Yes, it will get dirty quickly, but that's just how things go with a matte palette. Also, I was thinking, should I just do it black, like their standard colour? But then the black ones also get dirty really easily. Like, if you guys have one of their matte, like, you know, the matte feeling black palettes, they get really dirty easily as well. So you open up the palette and it looks like this. So there is an oversheet thing and it has a giant mirror, which I was really keen to have in the palette, just because I love doing my eyeshadow using a big mirror, and then I can do like the rest of my makeup with it. So yeah, it's got the big mirror and then it's got all these shades. I'm just gonna give you guys a little close up. Oh my god, I'm so excited. So these are what these shades look like, and you can see the shade names as well. I will go through all the shade names when I like swatch them on my arm. And then without this is what it looks like. Oh my god. Obviously mine has been used, so it's like indented in some of them. So I'm just quickly going to put this down and show you guys the highlighter palette just before I go over them more in depth. So for the highlighter palette we went for the same kind of like nude box, well, like the same colour as this palette. We kind of like, you know, went for the same sort of thing. And then the palette itself, it looks like this. It has the same matte kind of nude colour on the back, and then the front has just got this like glass viewing window, and then obviously it's got my name on it. It says SOPH highlighter palette, and then you open it up and these are what these shades look like. And obviously, again, mine have been used. I was using the samples for ages, but then when I got back from America I received like the actual things, so I've only had these for like a few days, but I've been using it so much. It's what's on my face right now. I've basically worn this every day since I've been back. So these are what the colours look like, and again, let me just do a close-up. So here we go, these are my shades. The highlighter palette doesn't have shade names just because of the clear window here. We couldn't put like an insert in to say what the names were, because you would obviously be able to like see through it. So that is a shame. They don't have names, but just the whole thing, I'm absolutely in love with. So the main thinking behind this palette is I knew that I wanted to have a white because I know the struggles of being pale. Obviously right now I'm really tanned because I've just got back from holiday. So yeah, I needed to have a white in this palette, so I went for the shade here. I then wanted to have a couple of like cool colours, so I went for a pink and a purple just because I like to sometimes wear colours that are a bit more out there, and if I do, I'm not really going for like blues and greens. I mostly go for like pinks and purples, so that's why I put these two in. I then went for a very kind of everyday pinky champagne sort of colour, which gives a gorgeous glow. But then also, as much as I really wanted to cater for the pale girls like myself, because yeah, like white highlighters are sometimes quite hard to find. So yeah, I also, of course, did not want to discriminate against other skin tones, so I wanted to make a palette that would work for everyone, and so that is why I included this shade, and this shade. So these shades are slightly darker, and this one right here is the darkest shade in the palette, and I'm really hoping that this shade is going to work on like the deepest of deep skin tones, just because like on me this is not a highlighter, like this would be like a bronzer, but yeah, I'm really hoping that will work. And then I also put in this one as well, but when I swatch them, obviously I will show you guys all the different colours. So the palette is kind of split into two halves. This side is the more pale side, this side is the more medium to dark side of the palette, but also you can mix and match the shades together to create your perfect shade. If you do have deep skin tone, I think you could mix the gold with this one and I think it would look gorgeous. But yeah, just depending on your skin tone, I'm really hoping there is something for everyone in this palette. And this is £8 for 8 shades, which I think is incredible. I'm so happy about the price point. So the eyeshadow palette does have shade names, and you get a little insert here. So all of the shade names I picked, and they're like things that I love, and also the colours that I picked. I basically picked these. You guys know that I have a love for warm shades of eyeshadow, so I picked a bunch of warm shades and neutrals, and then I also felt like it was essential in every palette to have a white and a black. So there's a matte white and a matte black. And then, just on top of that, I also like to experiment with some more fun colours, so I put in a kind of khaki green colour just because I love that shade, and I think this one is going to be gorgeous around Christmas. There's then a really interesting kind of bluey brown sort of shade. There's a purple one, so I did throw in a few kind of like fun ones just because I wanted it to be a neutrals palette, but also something that you could create like a bunch of different looks with. There's so many different like colour combinations in this, and I think you can create so many like really cool and interesting looks, but you could also use it as like an everyday palette because it has all like your neutrals as well. I wanted it to be a palette that you could wear all year round, so I wanted there to be colours in there that you could use for Halloween, so I put in a red, which I just had to put in a red because I love red eyeshadows. So there's a red, there's a black, there's obviously the darker brownie sort of colours, and then also I wanted something that you could wear at Christmas, so I put in the green, and also I think these bronzy gold colours will be stunning for Christmas, and the red as well. And then this one kind of reminded me of like the berries that you get like at Christmas. And then on top of that as well, I wanted it to be able to be used for spring and summer and autumn. And so like for summer, you've got a bunch of like peachy shades and pinks, and this one down here is more peachy as well, like a pale pink. And then in the autumn, obviously there's a bunch of shades in here for autumn. There's these beautiful kind of like coppery shades, again like the reds and the browns and the dark sort of colours. So I really wanted something that could be used all year round and for all skin tones as well, because yeah, that's what I plan to do, and I'm really hoping that again this palette can work for everyone. A few, like I'm not gonna lie, like some of the paler colours like this one, and some of like the sort of transition shades, they're not gonna work on like deeper skin tones. Like I'm not gonna sit here and lie and be like, yeah, like, you know, this shade is gonna work on darker skin tones, because it's not. But then there's only so much I could do in terms of that, because I also wanted it, you know, I wanted there to be colours for everyone. So obviously all of these shimmer shades are going to show up on any skin tone, and then you've got your like more darker shades down this end as well. So I really hope that that is okay with you guys. I just wanted to try and make it as universal as possible. The white shade is called Penguin because I actually named this one after my brother, because he loves penguins, they're his favourite animal, and the belly of a penguin is like completely white and fluffy, so I called that one Penguin. This one is called Pancakes because I love pancakes, mostly crepes, like I just love them so much. And me and Sam always used to make pancakes together and stuff, and yeah, I just named it Pancakes because of my love for pancakes. I just realised quite a few of these are food related. So yeah, I thought it looked like the colour of pancake mix, so that's why I called it that one. This one is called Fairy Lights, just based on my fairy lights behind me. I wanted something kind of YouTube themed in here too, because this is the reason I'm bringing out this palette, and my fairy lights are kind of like my signature background. So that one's Fairy Lights, and this one is an inner corner highlight. This one here is called Pink Champagne. 1, because it looks like pink champagne. 2, because that is a song by Ariana Grande and I'm a huge fan of her. I almost called this one Moonlight, but I changed my mind because then I was like, then I'll have 2 Ariana Grande songs. So then this one is called Iced Coffee because I love iced coffee and it looked like the colour of iced coffee, so this one is also matte. And then this one here is called Cup of Tea because it looks like the colour of tea, and my mum loves tea, so I named this one after her. She has like so many cups of tea a day, it's crazy. So that one's called Cup of Tea. And then moving on to this row, this one here is called Grow Old, and I called it Grow Old just because I wanted it to be related to 21 Pilots in some way. I was going to call it House of Gold, but then I thought I would have too many song related shadows in here, and so yeah, I decided to call it Grow Old because the lyrics in House of Gold are, she asked me, son, when I grow old, will you buy me a house of gold? So I put in Grow Old, which is this kind of coppery gold colour here. And then the slightly lighter gold shade is called Sparks Fly, obviously for my love of Taylor Swift, and also when like sparks appear, they're like kind of golden, I guess. So that is my Taylor Swift shade, Sparks Fly. This one here is just called Smoky Bronze because in all honesty I couldn't think of another shade name for it, so it's just a smoky bronze metallic colour. This one here is called Mixed Berries, which is the purple shade, and I put in a purple, 1 because my dad loves the colour purple, it's his favourite colour, 2 because I just thought it would be really fun. I know that a lot of you guys like purple eyeshadows, and yeah, I wanted something to go in there that was kind of Christmassy. This one is called Tiramisu just because I love tiramisu. It's my favourite dessert. I don't know if a lot of you guys know that, but yeah, it's my favourite dessert. This one is called Peaches just because, quite frankly, it looks like the colour of a peach, and peaches are one of my favourite fruits along with strawberries. This one down here is a matte orange shade, and this is called Cloudberry. This one is actually named after my dad as well because if any of you guys read the Moomin books or watched the Moomin series or whatever, there was some time in the book where they like picked cloudberries. My dad used to read me and my brother all the books when we were younger, so I called this one Cloudberry. The next one along is called Pumpkin because it is just an orange colour, and I wanted to have some stuff in there for Halloween because I love Halloween. This one is called Pine Tree, which is a metallic pine tree sort of colour. It's a green, and again I wanted to put this in here just because of my love for Christmas, and I think that's going to be amazing at Christmas time. This one here is called Petrol, which again is also sort of linked to my brother, but also just because I thought it kind of looked like petrol-y. It's sort of like a bluey brown colour. It is such a cool colour, and yeah, my brother has always loved the smell of petrol, which is a bit weird. The next one along is called Pug, and it's a matte kind of like taupey colour. You guys know, if you followed me for a while, I love pugs. I used to have pug cushions behind me, and as soon as I move out I'm planning to get a pug, so I called one of them Pug. The red matte colour is called Danger. I called this one Danger, almost called it Danger Days, but I didn't because again I thought it would be too many like, you know, music themed things, so I called it Danger just because the My Chemical Romance Danger Days album, Gerard Way has red hair, and I love My Chemical Romance, so I put in a red just for him. I also was thinking of calling this something to do with 21 Pilots, but I decided to go for Danger because 21 Pilots already had a little like, you know, shout out over here. This one down here is a matte pink colour, and it's called Strawberry Sweets. Again, for my love for like strawberries and strawberry sweets, and me and my brother used to get strawberry sweets all the time when we were younger. This one down here is kind of like a metallic red sort of colour, and it's got a slight hint of orange in there, but it's like a coppery red. This one is called Festive Flame, again for my love of Christmas. There's so much like Christmas themed things in here. The next one along is called Copper Coin because it's a more like orangey colour, and this is literally like the colour of a copper coin, so that's why I named it that one, and again it's metallic. The first brown shade here is called Mug Cake. If you guys follow me on Snapchat and Twitter, I make mug cakes quite frequently. It's like when you mix up cake mixture, put it in a mug, put it in the microwave. I love cake and I love mug cakes, and I thought I would just, you know, put a little tribute to my Snap squad in here. So this one is called Mug Cake. The next one along is called Rosewood, and this is obviously named after Pretty Little Liars. The difference between these two brown shades you'll see in the swatches, they are different when you actually swatch them, but one of them is slightly warmer, which is this one, and this one is slightly more cool toned and a little bit darker as well. And then the final colour is called called Nightmare. This is just a matte black, and I called it Nightmare after my love for The Nightmare Before Christmas, which is one of my favourite films. So yeah, those are all the names, those are all the reasons. I really wanted to make this palette personal, and it definitely is, so those are why I named them what I did. So now finally let's get into the swatches. I also hope you guys appreciate, to do these swatches nicely, I waxed my arms because I have a lot of arm hair and it always gets in the way of my swatches because I even have like hair on this side of my inner arm. Yeah, I hope you guys appreciate that. I took one for the team, so I'm gonna have a nice pretty arm to swatch on. So just speaking about the formulas quickly, there are 5 baked highlighters, which are the pink one, the purple one, the deeper kind of like bronzy shade, the gold one, and then also this one. This one is a little bit more natural, so it's not as like blinding as the others, but like when you build this one up, it is really, really pretty. And so those ones are more of a baked formula, so they're literally like super intense like pigment, if you can see what I mean. So they're a bit of a like harder formula, whereas these ones are more kind of like creamy, so hopefully that makes like sense. Okay, so moving on to the eyeshadow palette, I just quickly wanted to say another thing I forgot to mention earlier in the video is obviously this palette is only £10 for 24 shades. It's not going to be the same quality as like Makeup Geek and stuff like that. It is still drugstore eyeshadows. I'm going to be completely like fair and honest with you guys because, you know, drugstore eyeshadows you have to build up more than other eyeshadows, but I managed to get this look using this palette and the eyeshadows are still amazing quality, as you will see from the swatches, so let's go. That one literally blends in with my skin. Okay, so here are the top 2 rows. Obviously with some of the transition shades, like the matte shades, they need like a couple layers to like build them up. But yeah, here we go. And now I'm moving on to the bottom 2 rows. So like I say in a lot of my videos, like matte shades are a lot more difficult to swatch on your arm. You just have to like build them up on your eyes. So I am just going to give a couple of these matte ones 2 layers instead of 1. Wow, who would have thought I'd be so bad at swatching? I'm just going to give the brown one a little extra layer. And then I'm also just going to give the other brown and the black an extra layer. So here are the bottom 2 rows. It's so hard to get them all in focus at the same time. So there we go. There are all these swatches of the palettes. Yeah, like I said in the little like clip and stuff, I wanted to be completely honest with you guys about these palettes, and yeah, some of the matte shades, they don't look so great in the swatches, but I promise you, when you see this tutorial, which will be coming very, very soon, and you know, once you build them up in your eyes and stuff, I absolutely love them. I'm so happy with these palettes. I absolutely love them, and the main piece of information that you guys need to know is these are going to be out this Wednesday. Like literally in like 2 days time. They're going to be out on Wednesday morning. I think it is Wednesday the 13th, I believe. I think that is the date anyway. Is it the 13th on Wednesday? I think it's the 13th on Wednesday. So they're going to be out this Wednesday by 10:30 AM GMT on the Tam Beauty website. The Tam website does ship internationally. However, they will be in Superdrug stores. I think it's the 20th of September. They're going to be in selected Superdrug stores, which, oh my god, that actually blows my mind that something that I've created is going to be in Superdrug stores. So yeah, they're going to be in selected Superdrug stores from the 20th of September, and they should be coming soon on the Superdrug website. However, I don't have a confirmed date yet, but it should be within the next 2 weeks. I will update the description box down below with all of the details for like the launch dates and stuff. And then also, if you're in the US, I believe they will be coming to Ulta at some point. I'm not quite sure when, but again, I will update the description box, and also I will let you guys know on my social medias and stuff. This, oh, I can't even speak. This whole like opportunity is just unbelievable, and I'm so grateful, and I just cannot wait for you guys to try them and like tweet me your looks and stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for absolutely everything, and I would love to know your thoughts down below. If you do get the palette, if you do like put it on your birthday list or your Christmas list or something and you get it, then I would love to see your pictures and like hear your thoughts and stuff. So yeah, that is it from me. Literally this video has just been incredible to film. Like, oh god, I can't even believe this is real. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!